Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Been a while. Let's make a video here today looking at some art. We have some new subscribers. Welcome. This is a channel where most of the time we look at vintage toys. But today we're going to look at some art that I made. This folder, so I've been going through the house, as always, in cleaning and straightening things up, organizing. And this is a big folder full of art that I made. Most of this stuff, I think, or all of this stuff, was created by me in the last 10 years here in San Francisco. There is stuff in here that isn't stuff that I made, and we'll just go through it all and let's just look at it all. What do you say? So, this is in no order, and we're just going to go through and look at. This is a painting that I did. It is a scene from one of my favorite books. This is the Girl in La Jolla. This is from John Steinbeck's classic novel, Cannery Row, one of my all-time favorite books. This is a novel that is loosely based on factual incidents. The characters in the book were real people. The main character of the book is Ed Ricketts. Doc Ricketts was an early marine biologist, 1920s, 1930s, I think, in Monterey, California. He had a laboratory. When I was a kid, the laboratory was a surf shop. The laboratory still stands on Cannery Row in Monterey, and I think it's like a tourist destination now. They've made it a official landmark. This little building where he did marine biology for years. So this is a scene from the book. He used to drive from Monterey to La Jolla down in the San Diego area to harvest baby octopi. And on this particular day, when this scene took place, he arrived in La Jolla to collect his baby octopus, and he found a drowned girl in the tide pool. And that is what this painting is. How will we do this? Here's something. How is this in here? Oh, it's on both sides. Jeez. Here's some dogs I did. So this is some dogs that I did on this folded up piece of paper. It's just four dogs. This guy. And then there's this guy. Cross hatching. Like his guess that's a French bulldog. This is an English bulldog. And then this is a Chihuahua, maybe. This opens up. So this is a painting that I did that I did at SF MoMA. So a lot of this stuff we're going to look at was stuff that I did in different art classes that I took. Creative art therapy through the Veterans Administration. And on this day, we took a trip to the Museum of Modern Art, and we did this thing where, you pick out paintings that you like, and then you do your own versions of them. And so this was my own version of a painting that I liked. I don't know who did the original painting, but that's the one that I did. So here's some more water. I like that. It's just really basic. It just looks like water. Maybe I was just practicing on how to draw water or how to paint water. I don't know. What's this? Oh, here's more stuff. Okay. This has something to do with art therapy. It says restart. So this was talking about our lives. And so this is a painting that is an example, I guess, showing my progression through life. I don't know. That's what it is. Here's a King Kong Lives. I must have cut this out because I liked it so much. Here's something drawn by my kids, by one of my sons. Something else drawn by my son Dylan. two bats. Let's see. Here is some Sasquatches that I painted or I drew. 3 Yeti. This is something drawn by my son Simon, I believe. Or it could be Dylan, I'm not sure. A lot of these are by the kids. That's interesting. I didn't say it was going to be good. Okay, so this is the original painting. Those other ones were copies. That's odd. Okay. Here's some sort of zombie that I did with some pastels or something. Here's one that I like. This is another creative art therapy deal. And this is me with all of the things that I love. Eclairs, TV, dreams, peace, art, strength, time, and boobs. And it looks like I'm reading Slaughterhouse-Five. Here's a copy of a painting done by Dan Brereton that I bought from him. He signed it for me down here. See? So way back in 2000. This was for a friend of his named Jane who had cancer. If I remember right, that was the story. I can't remember much more than that. And I love this one. Here's some more stuff by other people. There's a lot of stuff by other people in here, you guys, so hope you don't mind. Let's just look at some art. I purchased this from the artist at Golden Gate Park, Tyler Cohen. I like it. More stuff that I purchased from the artists in Golden Gate Park. I like these. This was from a silk screen class that I took. So I took a class on silk screening, and they had these different silk screens that you could choose from. There's another nice one done by somebody here locally, an artist. I used to buy a lot of original art from artists at the park. I bought this in Bahrain. I think this is just a greeting card. It says Declaration of Faith. And I remember I bought these greeting cards because I just liked them, at the time. And this was in, I think it's called, is it Bahrain City? The capital of Bahrain? I think that's where I bought that. Here's some really beautiful Betty Page photos that I've had for a long time that need to be framed. Really dirty. The bag, I'm going to take this bag and throw it away. It's got a lot of dust on it. So these need to be framed and put up. This is large. It's got some bending to it, though. I don't like that it's already got bends to it. These are beautiful, beautiful prints of Betty that were done artistically, and they're fantastic. All right, let's get back to stuff that I made. Here's some stuff that I made. This is Mr. Blob in the rain. This is a scene from downtown San Francisco one day on a very rainy day. I was down there taking care of business. I had some reason to be downtown. And it was raining, which is pretty rare, and it was like a heavy rainy day, and it was crowded. The sidewalks are crowded with people. And this person was walking through the crowd in the rain, and they had a twister mat over them like a poncho. They were walking through utilizing this twister mat that was all dirty and beat up that they must have found in the trash, and it had become a rain poncho. That's what that's about. This is a night jump scene. This is a scene of what it's like jumping out of an airplane at night. Here's the original. That other one must have been blown up. This is the original of the Mr. Blob in the rain. Here's the Flymobile. This is from a short film that I made called The Flymobile. This is a title card from that film that I made. This is a carton of Neapolitan ice cream that I decided to paint one day. I used to have a house full of teenage boys, and the Neapolitan ice cream would look like this. So they would eat all the chocolate out of the middle. And so I thought it was worthy of a drawing. I thought it was funny. Here's the red skull that I did. Oh, I like this one a lot. I might put this one up. This is a German Shepherd. I guess. And this is Blondie. I think this is Blondie. This is Adolf Hitler's German Shepherd. Here's an abstract weird thing that I painted one day. I don't know what that's about. This is some sort of a scene from the emergency room where I used to work. I don't know what this. We were doing something in this art class about moments when you when you felt proud of your accomplishments, maybe. So this is me right here, and I'm thinking I'm gonna just start another line in his foot to try to replace fluid volume and decrease hypovolemic shock. Try to stabilize. And then I did my best, but the patient eventually expired about 2 hours after this. I remember that day. That was a guy that got crushed by a forklift. This is a escalator. Oh, I like this one a lot. This is another scene from a book. This is from Galapagos by Kurt Vonnegut, and this is a ship that is being piloted by a ghost who has removed his head and is holding it up higher so that he can see the horizon better to navigate the ship. And that's from Galapagos by Kurt Vonnegut, I think. Oh, I remember this one. I like this one a lot too. This is from a day that I was standing in line at the ATM, and there was a woman in front of me in line, and she had this little pocket puppy, like one of those little white Pomeranians, just like this little ball of fur that probably weighed 3 pounds. And while she was pushing her buttons on the ATM, her dog had his head stuck in a Fritos bag, and he was, or she was, licking furiously and getting the crumbs, but the bag was stuck on his head. I liked the image, so I drew a picture of it. So I used to do this quite a bit, I guess. So this is another picture that I drew of somebody in San Francisco. This was, gosh, where was this? This was in the Castro or the Mission, right as the Mission turns into the Castro, or vice versa. Anyway, it was at a big bus stop. And there was a lot of people waiting for the bus, and there were all these other people walking, and kids and dogs, and there was this man who was eating out of the trash, and he looked like this. He looked a lot like the guy from, is it Mulholland Drive? Is it that David Lynch movie with the bum that's at the back of the Denny's that has the I don't know what it was, like a little glowing cube or something. Anyway, this guy looked like that. He was this scary looking street person, and he was just taking his time. He wasn't paying attention to anyone, and he was just looking through the trash and picking through and eating things out of to-go containers, I think, mostly. Here's another one of those. This is one that I drew. This is from the train. This is sitting on one of the wall seats and in a crowded train with a bunch of people, and just looking at their feet and drawing their feet. Oh, this is something I want to say this was Father's Day. So we used to do things on once a week at this art class that I took, and we would you understand. So anyway, this is this painting that I did. I like this one. Oh, this is done by someone else again. This is someone's art that I purchased from, that was in the park. Local artists. Oh, here's another one that I did. So this, and it's on on a backing board, on a comic board. This is a self-portrait. This is supposed to be me. This might have been an art class where we were supposed to draw a line, one line, and then make a picture out of it. I'm just guessing that I drew that. What is the smile and the frown? I don't remember. I'm just guessing. This is another one. So this is from that class, and if I remember right, we watched a film that was about these pelicans that make these nests, but they're really particular about the nest. So the male pelican has to present the female pelican with sticks or pieces of things that he finds for her to make the nest out of, but she doesn't always accept everything. Sometimes she refuses. So it's the birds have to get to know what the right material is for the female pelican to make a nest out of. Anyway, so this drawing is a picture of the male pelican presenting the female pelican with a piece of perspective nest. So there's another self-portrait. I used to do a lot of these, I think. Maybe not a lot, but a few. This was me looking at the bridge at night. Another self-portrait type thing is me at my table creating, and me at the beach meditating. Another scene this is a scene from a movie. This might have been a class where we were asked to draw scenes from our favorite movies or something. And this is from the end of one of my all-time favorite military movies. It's called The Best Years of Our Lives. It's an incredible movie. You need to watch it. It's got Frederick March, Dana Andrews, I think Myrna Loy. I can't remember. Anyway, it's an incredible movie, The Best Years of Our Lives. And this is towards the end of the film when one of the main characters, who is a veteran, and he had been a navigator in a bomber in World War II, and he got home and they were scrapping these planes, the Army Air Corps planes that had been used in the war, and then it was surplus, and they were scrapping them into metal in this junkyard. And he found a plane that was exactly like the ones that he used to navigate in World War II. And he got inside, and he was sitting in his spot, and he was having a flashback. And it's called The Best Years of Our Lives. Okay, here's more of that stuff from that class. So this is a progression drawing of myself: worry, loss, guilt, strength, power, natural talent, fate versus luck, destiny, and legacy. This is 8 or 10 years ago. I don't necessarily always remember exactly what these are about. Here's a surfing one. This is another situation where I was surfing, and there were girls surfing in bikinis, which is unusual, but it happens here on warm days. Here is this must have been Day of the Dead. This was probably a drawing that we were supposed to draw something about Dios los Muertos, and I drew this family driving in a car. Here's something else. This was the 4th. I'm just going to guess because it says something about declaring independence. So I'm going to guess that this was the 4th of July, and we were supposed to draw a picture about independence. Declaring my independence could be something good. I'm willing to try it. Probably couldn't hurt. I'd like to declare independence from these bad thoughts and feelings. These ones over here in my head. worry, doubt, loneliness, desire to isolate. Maybe by simply acknowledging that they are in there, ratting them out, will aid in reducing the efficacy. God, I can't even read my own writing. Will aid in reducing the efficacy of their poisonous aspects. Maybe soon the inside of my head will look more like this over here, only not all congested, comfortable. It's full of self-awareness, synchronicity, acceptance, inner peace, self-love, or at least a healthy self-like. Okay. Is that everything? I guess that's everything. I thought there was a, could have swore there was one of my favorite self-portraits was in here. Did we go buy that one? Hold on. Oh, there it is. I found it. It's because it was in this kind of frame. So this is the last one. I could have swore this painting was in here. So this is from the same time period as everything else. And this is, I guess, one of my all-time favorite things that I've ever made, art-wise. This is a self-portrait that I made in one of those classes. And it's like the inside of my head. I guess is how I would describe what this is. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. And I hope you liked this video where we looked at and talked about art that was inside of this folder. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day or evening, and I'll talk to you guys later.